Hello, my name is Chris Shea. I'm a financial advisor with BPS Financial Services, and this is a presentation today on understanding 401k plans, IRAs, and pensions. There's a lot to it, so let's just get started. First of all, we want to check out what you know already or want to know about 401ks, pensions, and IRAs. We'll go over the agenda. The ground rules essentially are listen to me, write down your questions, ask them to me, and get you some better answers, more specific to what you actually have questions about. And I'm going to introduce myself. So, agenda, what is a pension plan? What's a 401k plan? What are the benefits of a 401k plan? Why should you start saving today? What's an IRA? And then we're going to compare a very tricky question of traditional versus Roth inside of an IRA or a 401k plan. It's under the topic of IRA here, but it will pertain to 401k plans as well. Chris Shea, I'm a financial advisor with BPS Financial Services. I'm a financial planning and implementation partner with my clients. I help them to hopefully make better choices with their money to achieve their current and future needs, wants, and wishes. So let's get right to it. Is retirement something that's important to you right now? Maybe not. You might be in your 20s or 30s, and it might seem like it's forever from now. But planning for it, regardless of where you're at, should be an important thing. This will give you financial confidence and enable you to accumulate wealth so that when you're older, you'll actually have more money. If you start younger, you're going to be most likely better off. Pension plans versus a 401k. 401k is a defined contribution plan, aka you, the employee, define how much you want to contribute. There are more of these today because it's up to the employer to make the contribution. The employee is up to them to make the contribution. The employer is not required to force you to make a contribution to the plan. Therefore, the results aren't known in advance. A pension, on the other hand, is a defined benefit plan. The employer makes a defined benefit to you, the employee, that they have to fund. That puts the employer on the hook for their pension. Defined benefit, lifetime benefit, retirees at a specific age, and service. There's less of these now because companies don't want to be on the hook for this type of responsibility, and because the government changed laws years ago. 401k plan is one of the best available savings options for people. Yet only 32% of Americans are investing in one as of 2017. I find that statistic to be pretty staggering, considering 59% of people had access to them. That means nearly 50% of people aren't taking advantage of this vehicle. Why? I think it's based mostly because of lack of an education as to the benefits, because it feels like you're getting money taken out of your paycheck. You are, but it's for something that's going to pay for you in the future. So what exactly is a 401k plan? Employees contribute their own money to the plan through payroll deduction on most times. Defined contribution, employee benefits, they're offered by many companies in some way, shape, or form. The money is deducted from your paycheck, goes into a fund for retirement, or a combination of funds that you get to choose through your sponsor. They're an excellent way to save money because you never see it. What are the benefits for the employer? It attracts and retains employees. One of the biggest questions out there now when employees are looking for a job, what are your benefits packages? Healthcare is usually number one. Financials number two, usually. And then there's a lifestyle. Work from home, got to go in, all those types of questions. But a retirement plan can be a very big attraction, and it can also retain employees. It helps their employees plan for retirement. Financial considerations are a big thing for employees now because they're starting to see that they need to start to plan for it. It's an important thing. 401k is a great benefit for that. There's tax benefits to the employers as well. And it ultimately gives employees a chance to have a voice and a choice in their own financial future. It gives the employees power and opportunity. They can be as risky or not risky as they want. They can put as much money away as they want, up to certain contribution limits, but it gives the employee the power to invest as they see fit. Benefits for the employee. There's a lot here. Money can be invested in many things. Many mutual funds, helping the money grow faster, potentially. Interest you earn on money is tax deferred until it's withdrawn. Since you both don't pay taxes on the money that you're investing, it can lower your net income if you choose traditional. Tax deferred. You don't pay taxes on any of the gains until you withdraw the money at retirement. We did talk about how there's a good number of mutual funds. It also simplifies the investment decisions. There's a couple thousand mutual funds out there. Usually inside of a 401k, you've got 10, 20, 30 choices. A lot simpler. Both you and a significant other, spouse, can have a 401k account. You're not limited by the household, it's by the individual. Potential investment returns. And I think one of the biggest ones is the money's taken out of your paycheck before you ever see it, which means you don't spend it. So it can grow. 401k plan could make it possible for you to have more money in your paycheck. How does that work? I'm having a deduction, but I got more money in my paycheck. Well, let's think about it in this example. Gross salary of $50,000, 6% of your pay is taken out before tax contribution in a 401k retirement plan. $3,000, you that with taxable pay of $47,000. If you didn't take it out, you tax at $50,000. You can see here the numbers: 6130, 6790. Now say you wanted to save that 6% as well for the $3,000. Okay, now you do it after taxes. You're taking the money out after taxes, which means you've got less money. If you save $3,000 after taxes as opposed to before taxes, you're actually going to have $660 more to play with and do other things with. Again, it's not a normal thing in terms of people believing that they're saving money. However, you could have more money in your paycheck. Next up, tax deferment limits for 2023. They've gone up over 2022. Yearly contribution for a 401k plan under the age of 50 is $22,500. $7,500 more if you're over the age of 50. They want you to catch up because they know people are behind. The government wants you to save money. They put incentives in whereby you can put more money in and take advantage of it. It also lowers your taxes potentially in this year if you do the traditional. Now let's take an example. Okay, we got Barb. She's going to contribute $2 a day or $50 a month to her 401k plan. Okay, $50 a month for 40 years, that's $24,000. If she's super aggressive and can get a 10% return, again, that's an aggressive return. This is just an example though, just to make the numbers easier. That winds up with $265,000 in a retirement balance. Not bad. Again, that's an aggressive portfolio, lots of ups and downs, but she looks at it over 40 years as a long-term investment. It's a great return. Now, let's say there's a company match. Well, what does that mean? That means that if you put $2 in, the company matches you $1, 50% match, up to a certain dollar amount. Great. Barb's company decided to do this. So Barb puts away 50, the employer puts away 25. So her total is 75. Again, the match is not mandatory. But let's go back to that example. Instead of putting in $2 a day, you put in $3 a day or $75 a month. Total of $75 right there, 10% return, $398,000. That's a big difference. take advantage of your company match. It's money that they plan on paying you, but they want to incentivize you into your retirement plan. So take advantage of it. Make your investment up to at least the match in your 401k or retirement plan, because otherwise you're leaving money on the table. 401k plans can be as easy as ABC: automatic payroll deductions. Brokers, portfolio managers manage your account, not your employer. Your employer does not manage your 401k retirement plan. They cannot do it legally. They have to have somebody else do it. Okay. Contributions can be accessed in case of emergencies through loans or withdrawals. If you're under the age of 59 and a half, please make it a loan. You can pay it back. You pay yourself back. It comes out of your paycheck. You don't even really notice it. Withdrawals, they can be a penalty on that. So please try not to do it. The money's yours. You can roll the money from one 401k into another if you change jobs, or you can set up an IRA. And there's account services for all these. They've got 1-800 numbers, websites. You can see your money on a daily basis. Please don't look at it daily. It's going to drive you nuts one way or another, either good or bad. The retirement plan is there for when you retire, not for today. Withdrawing your money. Age 59 and a half, you can withdraw all or part. You are going to get taxed if you have a traditional with withdrawals. Most plans do let you borrow. So if you have something that comes up, you can borrow money. You got to repay it to avoid the penalty. And if you're under the age of 59 and a half, there's going to be a penalty for early withdrawal on your taxes. Vesting is a word that you'll also hear regarding a 401k. This is a security feature for companies so that people just don't get their match and run. Okay, some of them have 2, 3, 4, 5-year vesting periods where you got to work for that time before all the money is yours. Otherwise, if you quit your job early, some of it gets forfeited. It just means that you don't own everything that they put in. You do own everything that you put in because it was your money. The contribution is what we're talking about. So if you put in $10,000, your company put in $5,000. If you were vested 100% the day of, great. If you're invested 20% after 1 year, well, 1,000 of that, 5,000 will be yours. The other $4,000 will go back to the company. And usually there's a plan for that. Okay. So you'll see when you're 100% vested, it's written, it's very clear. Regardless of whether or not your vesting schedule is aggressive or conservative for the company, it is still in your best interest to put money in there at that level. Oh gosh, I can't save for retirement. I can't afford it. Does anybody go get a coffee in the morning? Double decaf mocha frappuccino iced latte with whipped cream caramel. Yeah, you know the people that do that. $3.50 on here, it's probably an old price. Maybe it's more like $4 or $5, $6 for a coffee. Do that 22 days a month for 12 months at $3.50, it's $124. That's at least $1,000 you can put in a retirement account. Over 40 years. Wait, that was 24,000, that's $40,000. It's a lot of money. With the returns, it can be significantly more. Think of reasons to invest, not why you can't invest. And it adds up. Let's assume in this example, a 7% return. This is, again, just a chart that shows you the value of time and starting earlier. Right? How long does it take to get to $1 million if you start off with 100,000? Well, if you want to do it in 20 years, it takes $1,150 a month. If you want to do it in 25 years, you're down to $530. If you give yourself 30 years, you only need $155 a month. Time is on your side. Use it. Start putting money away faster and sooner. You'll wind up in a better spot. Uncle Sam, for all their great things and their terrible things, and I'm not going to debate politics, they want you to start saving, though. They do. Why? It provides funds to the financial markets, which keeps the financial markets going. Can be transformed into factories, jobs, plants. It boosts the economy. 2002, there was over $3.8 trillion in investments. And probably the biggest reason why Uncle Sam wants it is when you retire, if you've got to rely upon the social services, it's going to put a huge strain on the economy and society. They want you to have money to be able to do what you want to do in retirement in a private sector manner. They don't want to have to provide you these services because it's a drain on the government. So please take advantage of the tax breaks, start putting money into your 401k. Now we're going to talk about a little IRAs, individual retirement accounts. We're going to go through this kind of quickly because there's a lot here and most of them won't pertain to you. We're going to talk about Roth and traditional, which also can apply to your 401k, beneficiary, spousal, rollover, SEP, simple. Let's go. Traditional IRA, tax break today. You take out $3,000, your income goes down by $3,000. Tax break. Very often tax deductible. All transactions earning the IRA have no tax impact until you withdraw the money, and then it's called the income. We go through a whole thing on IRAs. We got a whole other presentation on that. Roth IRA. This is slightly different because the contributions are after tax. Again, though, there's no tax implications when you take the money out or when it grows, and also not when it takes the money out. So if you take tax today, you don't pay taxes in the future. Government can't double tax you. Okay, so that can be a big impact. If you got 30 years, you can see here again on the investment period, same investment with taxes, $244,000. Without taxes, $367,000. Big benefit to taking advantage of tax-free growth. Beneficiary IRA. Person chooses to leave the benefits of a retirement account after he or she passes to a beneficiary. This goes to your heir. There are rules around this. You got to pay, you got to take the money out in a certain period of time. When you take the money out, it is included in your adjusted gross income. They're taxable distributions. If someone leaves you an IRA, you're going to want to talk to a financial advisor to get the details on how that's going to impact you and make choices to hopefully maximize the benefit of inheriting an IRA. SEP IRA, self-employed pension. Provision allows an employer make contributions into an IRS, establishing the employee's name instead of a pension fund account in the company's name. If you're self-employed, this is a great option. You can have higher limits than you do with 401ks. So if you work for yourself, look into one. You could save yourself a lot of money on taxes in each current year that you make money. Simple IRA. This one's a mouthful, which is why it's called the simple. Savings incentive match plan for employees, IRA. Essentially, this is for small businesses that can't afford a 401k plan because it's too costly. It's a great alternate option for them. Lower contribution limits than a 401k, but also a lot less costly. So again, it's a great option for small businesses. Rollover IRA. You left a job. You go to a new job. You got your money in your old 401k. What do you do with it? You roll it over from the old company to either your new company, or you set up a rollover IRA. Just a distribution from a qualified retirement plan into another qualified retirement account. You can do this within 60 days of the money leaving to getting to the new account without incurring a penalty. Gives you a lot more choices in investments usually, because inside of a 401k, there's usually limited to 10, 20, 30 investments. When you go to an IRA, you've got the entire universe of investments at your disposal. More options. And usually you can work with an advisor who can hopefully give you some better advice and better planning options. Spousal IRA. Again, most people don't know about this, but if you've got a stay-at-home spouse no longer working, you can set up a spousal IRA if you've got the funds to handle it. Okay. And you're filing jointly. So look into it. Now we're going to get into a very deep conversation that needs to happen with traditional versus Roth IRAs. We're going to go through this, compare it kind of line by line, traditional versus Roth, because it can be confusing for people. So don't feel bad if you don't get it the first time. Traditional, tax deferred growth. You've had the money taken out. You've gotten a tax break this current year that you put the money in. The government wants their taxes, so they're going to tax you in the future. On the Roth, you pay taxes today. Tax-free growth. They're never going to tax you on that money again because they've already collected the taxes. So it's up to you which way you want to go. Take the tax savings now or in the future. Everyone's different. Early distributions, subject to tax and penalty. There are exceptions in the traditional. In the Roth, distributions up to total contribution amount allowed without taxation and penalty. Again, there may be exceptions. That means your earnings will get taxed if you take it out early, but your contributions won't because you've already been taxed. Traditional, can't contribute after 70.5. Roth, as long as you're making money, you can contribute. Traditional, there's a required minimum distribution after age 70.5. I think it's 72.5 now. Gotta update the slide. There's none on the Roth. Why? They've already taxed you. They don't need the tax dollars. On the traditional, they want their tax dollars. There's adjusted gross limits, limits on the traditional and also on the Roth. And then you can read the rest of it. But the biggest thing is tax now, tax later. Do you have to take money out or are you free to do what you want? Advantage of a traditional IRA, maybe tax deductible, reduce your taxes today. No taxes until the money withdrawn. And the earnings are tax deferred. Contributions on a Roth can be made after 70.5, and the eligibility is not restricted by active participation in an employer's plan. So take advantage of it, look into them, figure out which one's the best. Again, for the 2023, the contribution limit for both is $6,500 per person. If you're over age 50, another $1,000. You can't do $6,500 in the traditional and in the Roth. It's a combination of the two. So you can't get to $13,000, $6,500 total. Now, hopefully you've learned a lot. If you have questions, feel free to reach out. Hopefully you've learned a lot about understanding 401ks, pensions, IRAs. If you got some feedback, I'd be happy to hear it to hopefully improve. And again, hopefully you've learned a number of things, what a pension plan is, what a 401k plan is, why you'd want to invest in a 401k plan, what's an IRA, the types of IRAs, and the reason to consider investing in an IRA. In all cases, the government wants you to invest in these retirement plans. Take advantage of the benefits that they give you and invest. And hopefully, if you got any questions, again, feel free to reach out.